All right, let's look at basic operations for handheld cameras. First, you want to grab the camera and pick up a battery and snap it onto the bottom. It should click in so it doesn't fall off, and then you connect this power connector on the left-hand side, and then there's another one on the right. They're different connectors, but they both need to be plugged into the battery. One is for the Teradek, one is for the camera, and that's the left one. There's the right one. Make sure those are snapped in well. And then on-off switch on the top of the camera, top right. That will turn the camera on. You also flip the switch on the Teradek. You should see the screen light up. And you want to wait till it says sending video. That means it's connected to the Teradek receiver. To turn it off, flip that switch again to off. Same with the camera. And then you want to disconnect the power connectors on the battery, both sides. Pull the tab down to release the battery from the V-mount and put it back on the V-mount charger. Push it down pretty well and check for a status light that it's charging. And that's it for handhelds. All right, in this part of the video, we're going to go over some examples of shots from handhelds. And if you watched any of our other training videos for cameras, this is going to be the longest segment of this because handhelds have such a wide variety of shots. We're going to look at this, and we're going to end with some example shots as well from a Bethel conference that some of our staff just went to. So we're going to start, I'm going to play through. There's some examples of what to do and what not to do, and this is an example of what not to do. This can be a shared responsibility of the camera op and the switcher. Make sure the switcher is calling the right cameras so that the handhelds know when they're live, and make sure your comms are working. I mean, sometimes that's unavoidable, and we're working on that, but yeah, we need to have good communication between our cameras and the switcher. This is another example of what not to do. The focus didn't get set when this shot went live. So have one hand on your lens and one hand on the camera. I usually hold the camera up with my left hand, support the camera on my forearm, focus with my left hand, and then hold the body of the camera with my right hand. Because this shot it's okay if you start out of focus and pull it in, obviously, but this shot never got focused. It just stayed soft the whole time. So make sure you pull focus in. I like this shot. To a point though, like it's well framed, but nothing's in focus. The tom isn't in focus. The floor tom, the rack tom isn't in focus. The sticks aren't in focus. The hand's not in focus. I'm not sure. We're not sure what to look at in this shot. I like this down the side. It's close. David should be more in focus. But that is a good option for a handheld shot because we don't have any other cameras that get that kind of down the side angle. I like this. This is a decent key shot. It's the focus. You see how narrow it is? And so just having that center strip in focus, you're getting a couple keys in focus and part of the hands in focus. There are better angles for keys because I don't care about this iPad. Like I don't want to necessarily see the iPad. Overall, decent shot, but could be a better angle. This is an example of a better drum shot where they're in focus. I like this shot being close up to singers down in front. It's higher energy. Just make sure focus is good. Love this shot of bass through the drum cage. Also love this shot of ASL, high energy, well framed to the left. I like it framed to the left. Rule of thirds. This is great. I don't mind that this is center right after I said rule of thirds, but it's just a cool shot because everything around him is kind of dark. It's like a contrasty shot. This is during a Sikh night, so the focus is great. Yeah, killer. I don't mind the behind the singer shots necessarily. We just need to do them intentionally and do them well. This shot, the reason I don't like it is because it's busy. There's extra stuff in the foreground out of focus that we don't need. I don't like to see cables or mic stands like this in shots. I'm not saying avoid behind the singer shots entirely, just limit them and frame them differently. You can find another way to get keys in the shot out of focus without seeing the mic stand. Great shot of drums. Yeah. Hi-hat. This is that's another behind the singer shot. It's not terrible. I don't mind it, however, because it's a quick shot. But I feel like, and here's why I say do them sparingly, is behind the over the shoulder shots behind the singer. It is more disconnected, especially for people online. they're not seeing the face of anybody. They're not like, the shot isn't communicating much. Same with this one. There's not much communicated in that shot. This is another example of a shot that's too busy with stuff in the foreground. We see the GoPro, we see the mic stand, someone's phone holder. This is an awesome shot. This is through the drum cage. You got the blur from the plexiglass out of focus, and then you have the guitar perfectly in focus. Great shot with the keys in the background. That's like 3 levels of awesome for this shot. Let's see. This shot, they never pulled focus. I love the framing. I love the lights in the background, but the lights are what's in focus. It's okay to start there, but make sure you pull focus to the subject in the shot. Good shot of drums, high energy, cymbals, awesome. The shot of keys is not ideal. The hand's not in focus. I don't know, what are we supposed to be looking at? It looks like the end of the keyboard maybe start to get in focus, but we've got cables hanging down, and so it's a less ideal shot for keys. Great shot for audience. For handhelds, you guys should come in and split responsibility. If there's 2 of you, split the room and the stage. One of you take the left side, one of you take the right side, and then I would say spend 20% of your time in the audience trying to get audience shots like this. It really brings people into the experience online. I like to try to avoid front-facing shots. I think that can be jarring for the person that's trying to worship, and then they see themselves on the screen, worshiping. That could be for some like a violation of that moment where we're getting in their space. So I love this audience shot. Focus is great. This one's cool too. Let's see, keys. I like this shot. The keys are in focus. It's a little dark, and then focus could have pulled to the hands more. This is an art example. Great shot. The only thing I would say there is adjust focus while you have your shot live, because your focus is over here on the right of the canvas. You could pull focus over here, and then they'll cut away. Really cool down the side shot from Handheld. Great focus. Mic in the face, perfectly in focus on that shot. This one, the framing isn't great. We go live with a shot of someone's waist out of focus in the foreground. Just watch that and make sure we're getting. This is a really cool close cymbal shot to a really cool. This was a live cut between 2 handhelds. I didn't cut this up in sections, so we went from this shot long crossfade to hands raised. Hands are in focus, and then another. Yeah, I think that was a cut there, but artist shot. I don't like this artist shot because we can't tell what she's doing. This is for switchers too. Don't take a shot of art, specifically if they're not painting. Maybe if you get a shot of them cleaning their brushes, that's one thing, but this is just a shot of their face and lights and lyrics in the background. So then we've got lyrics coming down at an angle and lyrics at the bottom of the screen for online. That shot just doesn't really tell us anything. I like this shot a lot. This is more of a front close-up angle for the lead singer with people moving and hands and stuff out of focus. Another cool drum shot in focus. This is an example of a behind the singer shot that didn't quite work because, it just doesn't tell us much. This one is similar. It doesn't add a lot for me, or for people watching. Like you've got the tripod and some other stuff in the shot that is kind of distracting. I love this shot of bass through the drum cage. Really cool. This was a crossfade that happened live. So this is just another example of communication and paying attention to when your shots go live, because we don't want to see that. Oh, shoot, that's partially on the switcher. Make sure you give the handhelds time to set their shots. But I love the framing of this shot. Once it got steadied, once they are all on the same page, really great frame shot. Focus is awesome. Yeah, framing is great. This is a cool shot too. We had some crowd moments. I love this shot too. Super contrasty. Rule of thirds works well on this one. Focus is great. Great shot of singer really close, because not many cameras can get that shot, so works really well for handheld. Drums, decent shot. Yeah. Keys, interesting angle. I mean, things are in focus, so it's not a bad shot. Another good shot from Keys that works pretty well. I like this. You could get even closer to them in that example. Great shot of guitar through the drum cage. Great shot of bass. Another cool shot of Keys. Yeah, that's a cool angle. Like you got some lines happening. Great focus. Awesome shot of bass. That's so cool. Like you can get that close and just mess with focus up and down the neck of the bass and get their fingers, etc. Cool shot of drums, especially in high energy stuff when we're cutting quickly, stuff like that, even though it's really close and it's this is like an abstract shot. It's like artsy. But I like it. The cymbal's in focus and it's giving energy to the cut. Cool shot of Keys. I like that. Great side shot of vocals. Focus is good. Framing is good. Headroom is good. Same with this. Great framing, great headroom, great focus, great color even, levels. Great shot of Keys from that angle. See how that angle's better than, you can still see the iPad, but it's less of it. So even that little adjustment. This is a great shot. What I wish about this shot was that they were in focus. I like being in the crowd. It makes me like, especially if you're online, you feel like you're in the room right there, like watching. You're sitting in between these couple people in some rows, but they just need to get focus up here. Great shot of Handheld. It's a great focus pull too. Not gonna lie, that may be camera one, and I may have thrown that in here on accident. But if you want to be in the audience, you can get some of these shots with Handheld where you have hands in focus in the foreground and pull focus to the stage. Great shot from here. Yeah, this is a great Handheld shot too. Nice framing. I don't mind that we lose her fingers. I like that there's a little bit of light up top, head, good headroom, a little bit of extra headroom for the hand. Cool angle. We're not getting the screen in the background. Great shot of ASL here too. Also great shot of ASL using rule of thirds. Put her head in the left. Her hands end up in the middle, and the right third is extra space for some of the gestures. Great drum shot. Look at the movement from left to right, and everything's in focus. What he's hitting, the snare's in focus. Having that movement from left to right adds something to the shot as well, so don't be afraid to move when you're capturing shots. Great focus pull to the ride cymbal in the drum kit. Yeah. This is a behind the singer shot that works okay. What I like about these is that you see a little bit of the light kind of glowing from the stage wash. Make sure you pay attention to framing. Waist up is generally a good option here, unless you do full body, but waist up or full, that's it. Don't hold these shots for very long. Great shot. I love the colors here. I mean, that it's a combination of things, but good framing. I like that, from where she's standing and the angle that the operator is at, we only get a little bit of extra lyric in the shot itself. Nice focus pull. Look at that. See, that's what you want. Like with Keys, it's still the same narrow depth of field, but look how crispy his hand and ring are. Yep. Drums. That's a sweet shot of floor tom being played fully in focus. I love seeing the drum head move, vibrate. I don't like this key shot. There are way better angles you can get. We don't need to see the top tier. We don't need to see his sheet music, the iPad. There's better angles for Keys. Great Handheld shot here. A little focus adjust, but that's okay. If it's like, she's in focus, but if you adjust it really briefly, it's fine. I love that you have the lights in the top, the background behind her. Another good shot of ASL, looking at the light. Cool shot of cymbals. Yeah, that works. Great shot of bass through drums. You can see bass and acoustic through the drum set. Really nice. Really nice shot of close bass. Up the neck. We saw earlier an example even closer down the neck. Both look really cool. So you can mess with going down the neck, up the neck, kneeling down or kind of standing a little bit over them to the side. Great shot here. I love seeing the beams with some of the haze helping frame the shot with the singer in focus. Here's a cool example of an art shot where the focus is more on the center of the canvas. Now, these are example shots from the Bethel conference. They do a lot of audience shots, and some people would be okay with this and some people would not. Like, I personally would not want to be filmed in my moment of worship this close, like close side to front on. If you get a shot of behind me, that's fine. I don't really care. But I put some of these in as examples of what we could try to get for some of our handhelds, limiting the front-facing shots of people. Really cool. This is a handheld shot. We haven't cut yet. It's just a really long focus pull from strings to the next instrument over. Focus, focus, focus. They cut away, but it's guitar. That's a really cool shot. This, the person doesn't see you. They're adjusting for light amounts. There's less light in the audience, so they have to adjust the camera. Great shot of drums. What you're going to see in some of these examples that I pulled from this conference is the movement of the handhelds, even like speed at which they walk and move the camera, adjusts based on the energy level of the song. And this is he's playing a tom groove, floor tom, low energy, low movement. Great audience shot from a handheld. They have to adjust focus as they pan down that group of people. Another great audience shot. And I liked how they pulled focus to the stage. Cool audience shot of hands. Yeah, they have a lot of great examples of hands. And now you can see the energy levels increasing. See how much quicker the cameras are moving on stage? And he's moving from instrument to instrument while his shot's live. That one's crazy. I put this in here on purpose because, like, this is like so close to insane, but it's a really high energy song, and so they're even if you watch the whole video, the whole cut, they're cutting really quickly, but like he's just running around the cage. Hand shot, same thing, really quick move, walking around the drum cage. Great, I love this. Look at that, it's just pretty. Nothing's in focus yet, but you have people worshiping. You have this is called like bokeh, blurred lighting in the background. Hands, that's a great handheld shot of hands raised, contrasty. So that's it for handhelds. Those are some examples of what shots to get, what shots to avoid. There's a lot of creativity and freedom with handhelds. One thing we do want to mention is be intentional about how you move. If you're in the crowd or in the audience or on the floor, make sure you don't bump anybody or push through anybody or distract from their experience. If there's a shot you want or a place you need to move to, find open pathways. If there aren't open pathways, then don't go for the shot. We want to enhance the experience, not be a distraction. If you're on stage, walk with intentionality. Don't run. Be smooth in your movements. Don't go too quickly. And try to pick landing spots that are out of other more static shots. Like, don't stand dead center behind the singer, and try to get a shot. You're going to end up in camera one shot, and try to pay attention to what other cameras are going live and move accordingly. Communicate with the other, ahead of time with the other handheld operator. What are you going to cover? What sides? If it's just you've got a lot to play with in the entire room. So use it. Walk around the room, get a mix, 80% stage shots of singers, instruments, and then 20% audience worshiping, etc. So that's it for handheld.